Coach, we had our first practice. How did our team look on ice?
There was great energy. I think everybody was excited to be back together again and have the first training session of the new season. And I thought the energy was good. Everybody was pretty excited to be on the ice and be together again. So it was a good start.
What is the plan now for our team for this tournament?
Well, as I've said before, I think this is a great evaluation period for us. This is like step one, if you will, in the new season on the road to the preparation for the World Championship here in April. So, there's a chance here to look at some different players. Certainly, many familiar faces from the past, but also there's a number of new players that I certainly haven't had a chance to see much of so far. So we'll get a chance to see some new names, and like I said, this is kind of the first step along the way in the new season. And of course, we want to be competitive. We want to do well, but there's a lot of factors here that we want to use and take this opportunity to evaluate different components of our team, both in terms of personnel and to a larger extent. It's really starting to form sort of the core lineup for our team here in April and May.
How much does it change the fact that we don't have some experienced players on our team this time? Yeah. How does that change the coaching for you or the whole team?
Well, first and foremost, it gives other players big opportunities to assume not only more minutes, but bigger roles, to play in some different roles. Maybe for some players, for example, it's a door to play, an opportunity to show themselves on the power play, as an example, or an opportunity for them to get some minutes penalty killing, to play different roles that they hadn't had a chance to experience in previous tournaments at an international level. And by that extension, it's a good opportunity for us to see how they do in those roles. And that's why I say it goes back to using this tournament as an evaluation tool for our entire team.
Our first opponent, Poland, will be our opponent of World Championship as well. How much does that difference the game?
I don't think it really changes much in our process, to be honest. I'm sure they're doing the same thing. I'm sure they're bringing a different mix of players, and they'll use the different tournaments and games and schedules that they've had throughout the year. So, where we're at right now won't be where we're at when we get to the World Championship in May. And it's the same thing with the other teams. This is like starting the building blocks and trying to put those building blocks into place early on here.
After the last championship, when we had a historic run at bronze medals, few of our guys came to the bigger leagues and they seemed to play really good at them. From your perspective, does the fact that we are Lithuanians and some countries think that Lithuania is not a hockey country and there are no good players damage their chances to get to the higher levels, and how can we change that?
Well, I can't speak for how other people view it. I think, and it's what I always hope for, that the team's success at the World Championship on an international stage would provide greater exposure for all the individual players. And I think on a lot of levels it did, and I think you've seen now, to your point, players get opportunities to play in some better leagues, that maybe those doors weren't as readily open or available, those opportunities weren't readily available to them previously. So it doesn't happen overnight. I think bit by bit, if we can establish that the national team level, that the team can have some sustained success, then I think it's going to continue to open up eyes and open up doors for all the individual players. And I certainly hope that'll continue.
This season, Lithuania and Latvia holds a joint championship. How much can that help? The bigger stage, the more games that our guys get that place in the local league, can we see the difference in the whole level of this team because of that?
Well, certainly from afar, I've just seen some games on video, but I haven't been able to see it live yet. But I think it's a great thing. I think initially, there's a lot of positive things that can materialize from this cooperation with teams from Latvia as well. And I think ultimately it'll be a long-term process. I don't think we have all the answers after 1 or 2 months of that cooperation, but I think there are a lot of benefits to be had from it over a longer period of time and over a sustained period of time. Whether that shows up this weekend or 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, time will tell. But I think the opportunity to play at a higher level in a more competitive league is only going to benefit all the players that are participating in that league. To be able to play and be exposed to that on a daily basis, not only in the games, but also in the practices. The preparation is at a different level, and it needs to be at a different level because the players are competing at a different level. And I think everybody stands to benefit from that.
Thank you.